It's 6:47 a.m. in Minneapolis. -4 degrees. A furnace kicks on for the third time this hour. Fighting walls never designed for this latitude. The homeowner opens January's utility bill, $1,100. Now that same steel Barndominium shell sits in Phoenix. August, 112 degrees. The AC hasn't cycled off since 9 a.m. The walls bleed heat into the living space because the insulation was spec'd for Minnesota, not the Sonoran Desert. Both homeowners bought the same package. Same R19 insulation, same windows, same everything. And both are losing, one to cold, one to heat, because nobody asked a question that changes everything. What if the building was engineered for ground it stands on? That question is worth somewhere between $30,000 and $100,000 over a building's life. Most Barndominium companies ship the same package to every climate zone in America. That is a $30,000 mistake we are about to expose. Here are 6 Barndominium builds, one engineered for every major U.S. climate zone. If you're building or planning, hit subscribe. More videos like this are already in production. The United States spans 8 DOE climate zones, from steam bath humidity to subarctic freeze. Building codes acknowledge this. Architects acknowledge this. But most Barndominium companies ship identical steel shells to Houston and Minneapolis. The result is a building that works nowhere. It just fails differently in each location. $3,000 to $8,000 a year in excess energy costs. Under a decade, $30,000 gone. Let's fix that. We start where the fight is most visible. The Gulf Coast breather. Zones 1 and 2. South Florida, Houston, New Orleans, coastal Georgia. Your enemy here is not temperature. It is water in the air. So much moisture that a conventional wall becomes a condensation trap. Water vapor hits cool interior drywall, condenses, and feeds mold inside the cavity where you cannot see it. The solution? Let moisture pass through. The steel frame sits behind a vapor-open, weather-resistant barrier. No interior poly-vapor barrier. Open-cell spray foam seals a roofline without trapping moisture. A dedicated dehumidifier handles what the AC misses. The foundation is raised pier-and-beam, 6 to 8 feet above grade. Floodplain engineering is not optional. Hurricane clips anchor the standing seam metal roof. Impact-rated windows face operable on all sides for cross-ventilation. August in Houston, 94 degrees, 88% humidity. You walk inside and the air is 74 and dry. Not because the AC is working hard, because the building never let the moisture in. The 4-foot eaves shade the walls, so effectively the steel siding never transfers meaningful heat inward. Honest truth. Spray foam, hurricane engineering, and elevated foundation add $30,000 to $50,000 up front. Flood insurance is still required. Finding a Gulf Coast crew that understands vapor-open assemblies is genuinely hard. My favorite feature? Those deep 4-foot eaves. They are doing the work of $5,000 AC upgrade, silently for free, for the life of the building. Build cost, $95 to $165 per square foot. Now shift from fighting water to fighting heat. Here's the wild part about the desert. Phoenix drops 40 degrees between 4 p.m. and 4 a.m. Your building absorbs heat all day, then the outdoor temperature plummets, and your AC keeps running because the walls radiate stored heat until midnight. You are paying to cool air that is already cool outside. The desert thermal flywheel solves this with mass. Zones 2B through 3B, Phoenix, Tucson, Las Vegas, Albuquerque, West Texas. A 6-inch polished concrete slab, dark stained to absorb winter solar gain. During the day, it charges like a thermal battery. At night, you open the clerestory windows. The stack effect pulls cool air through while the floor radiates stored warmth. The AC is off. The steel frame is wrapped in our 20-plus rigid mineral wool on the exterior, keeping the thermal mass inside the insulation envelope. The roof is light-colored standing seam. Minimal west-facing glass, because a west-facing window in Phoenix is a solar oven you paid to install. 4 p.m. in August, 108 degrees. The slab has been absorbing heat since morning. At 9 p.m., it's 75 outside. You open the clerestory. Cool air floods in low. Warm air rises and exits high. The floor is 82 degrees, releasing its stored heat. No compressor, just a stack effect and a thermal battery you walk on. Honest truth. Summer peak temps still demand mechanical cooling on the worst days. The flywheel reduces your bill 40 to 50%, not 100. Dark stained concrete needs resealing every 3 to 5 years against UV at elevation. My favorite feature? The clerestory windows. At 9 p.m., those high vents pull 7 to 10 air changes per hour, passively. No fan, no electricity, genuinely free cooling. Build cost, $90 to $155 per square foot. Here's the cruel irony. The hardest climate to engineer for is not the coldest or the hottest. It is the one that demands the opposite solution every 6 months. The Southeast hybrid serves zones 3 through 4A, Atlanta, Charlotte, Nashville, Dallas. 95 degrees and 90% humidity in August. 25 degrees in January. Moisture drive reverses seasonally. Outside in during summer, inside out during winter. Your wall must handle both directions. The solution? A smart vapor retarder, a variable perm membrane that opens in summer to let moisture escape outward, then closes in winter to prevent indoor moisture from condensing inside the wall. Paired with our 15 continuous mineral wool exterior insulation and closed self-spray foam at the roofline. Slab-on grade with continuous vapor barrier. Ventilated attic with our 49 blown-in and 18-inch overhangs. Low-E double-pane windows south-facing for passive solar. January morning in Nashville, 28 degrees. Frost on the grass. Inside, 68 degrees. The heat pump has been off for 2 hours. Now August, 93 degrees, soupy. The vapor retarder has opened. Moisture moves outward. The dehumidifier pulls 3 gallons of water from the air daily. The building breathes in the right direction. Honest truth. The smart vapor retarder and dehumidifier add $8,000 to $12,000. Most Southeast builders skip both because code doesn't require them. The homeowner pays for that decision in mold remediation 5 years later. My favorite feature? The 18-inch overhangs. In a zone where rain comes sideways and sun comes from directly overhead. That overhang depth is the difference between siding that lasts 30 years and siding that fails at year 12. Least expensive element in the build. Potentially the highest long-term return. Build cost, $105 to $175 per square foot. 11 straight days of rain. November in Seattle. Every conventional house on the block has that closed-up, sour smell. The one that means moisture is winning inside the walls. The Pacific Northwest rain screen serves Zone 4C, 150-plus rain days a year. The water comes as droplets, not vapor, and droplets need a gap. Behind the cedar or fiber cement siding sits a 3/4-inch ventilated air gap. Rain hits the siding, soaks through, hits the gap, and drains down and out. The mineral wool insulation behind it stays dry. The steel frame stays dry. It is a drainage plane wrapped around the entire building. Invisible, silent, and the reason the sheathing is bone dry. 612 pitch roof with 24-inch overhangs. Triple pane windows, not for thermal performance, but to keep interior glass warm enough to prevent condensation on steel frame interiors. An HRV exchanges stale air 6 times daily without losing heat. No AC is installed. It's not needed. Honest truth. Rain screen adds $12 to $18 per square foot in cladding labor. Triple pane is overkill by code, but essential for condensation control on steel frames in a marine climate. My favorite feature? The HRV in a climate where opening windows means letting in rain for 8 months a year. It is the only reason the indoor air smells fresh in February. A box in the mechanical room, delivering something no architectural glass can deliver. Build cost, $110 to $185 per square foot. Now shift entirely. 6,000 heating degree days a year. The cold is not an event. It is a default. The Midwest tight envelope serves zones 5 through 6A, Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, Buffalo. Your building loses heat for 8 months a year. And the enemy is a stack effect. Warm air rising, escaping through every ceiling penetration, pulling cold air into every crack. A continuous pressure-driven loop most insulation cannot stop. This build breaks the loop at every connection point. The steel frame sits entirely interior to our 30 plus continuous rigid mineral wool. The metal never touches cold air. No thermal bridge anywhere. A continuous air barrier at the exterior sheathing kills the stack effect. Frost-protected shallow foundation with 4 inches of rigid foam under slab. Saves $15,000 versus a full basement. Unvented conditioned attic with our 60 closed self-spray foam. Triple pane argon-filled south-facing windows. North-facing glazing kept to an absolute minimum. January, -15. The neighbor's furnace cycles every 12 minutes. Inside this Barndominium, the cold climate heat pump, rated a -13, hasn't run in 3 hours. The triple pane windows have been capturing photons since sunrise. Touch the steel frame through the drywall. Warm. Not cold. Warm. Honest truth. Exterior insulation and triple pane windows add $25,000 to $40,000 up front. Electric resistance backup on the 5 to 10 days below -13 is expensive per day, 3 to 4 times per BTU cost of the heat pump. My favorite feature? The air barrier continuity. A membrane, a tape, a sealant bead at every penetration. And the stack effect, the silent thief that pulls heated air from conventional attics while you sleep, has been permanently locked out. Build cost, $120 to $200 per square foot. Now I know what some of you are thinking. These are pushing toward $200 per square foot. At that point, why not just build a conventional house? Here's the thing. You're comparing the wrong numbers. The Gulf Coast breather costs $30,000 to $50,000 more up front and saves roughly $3,800 a year. Over 30 years, $114,000. The Midwest tight envelope costs $25,000 to $40,000 more, saves $2,400 a year. Over 30 years, $72,000. The mountain snow shed costs $40,000 to $70,000 more, saves $3,200 a year. Over 30 years, $96,000. Climate-specific engineering does not cost money. It costs money up front and returns it multiplied over the life of the building. Standardization is what costs money every month on every utility bill, forever. That brings us to the final build. This one holds a secret. From the outside, it looks like a standard Barndominium. Steel siding, standing seam roof, gravel driveway. Step inside, and you discover something that should not be possible at this elevation. The mountain snow shed, zones 6B and 7, Colorado Rockies, Wyoming, Montana, northern New England. 50 to 100 plus pounds per square foot snow load. -30 degrees. A build season lasting 4 to 5 months. Insulated concrete form stem walls on spread, footings driven 48 plus inches. Double wall concept. Steel frame interior to R 40 plus continuous insulation with exterior wind wash barrier. 10-12 pitch standing seam roof, snow breaks, engineered for 100 PSF. Unvented R 70 closed cell. Triple pane south-facing windows, mostly fixed. And the secret, a ground source heat pump geothermal. A loop buried 200 feet below the frost line where the earth holds 50 degrees year-round, delivering 4 units of heat for every unit of electricity. February, 8,200 feet in Colorado, -22. For feet of snow against the north wall. Inside, 71 degrees. The geothermal loop moves heat from 200 feet underground into the radiant floor. The wood stove hasn't been lit in 3 days. The only sound is the HRV whispering fresh air. Honest truth. This is the most expensive configuration by a wide margin. Short build windows push labor costs. Geothermal loop install adds $20,000 to $30,000, and on rocky terrain, drilling can exceed estimates by 50%. My favorite feature? The silence. A ground source heat pump has no outdoor condenser, no fan cycling, no compressor noise. At -22 with 40-mile-an-hour winds at the ridge line, the only sound is your own breathing. Build costs, $145 to $245 per square foot. Now the $30,000 mistake. The standard Barndominium package. Same R19 fiberglass. Same double pane windows. Same roof pitch. Shipped to Minneapolis, Houston, and Phoenix. The Minnesota build bleeds $4,200 a year in excess heating. The Houston build loses $3,800 a year in dehumidification and cooling. The Phoenix build runs its AC an extra 900 hours annually. No thermal mass inside the envelope. Conservative, real-world DOE numbers. $30,000 in excess energy costs in under 8 years. Over a 30-year mortgage? Over $100,000 on utility bills. Not upgrades, not renovations. Utility bills. Here's the cruel irony. The builders who skip climate-specific engineering to save you $15,000 up front are the same ones whose clients pay $30,000 in excess energy costs over the next 8 years. The $30,000 mistake is not a line item at closing. It is something you pay every single month on every utility bill for the life of the building. And nobody tells you that when you sign. These bills are not for everyone. If you're building in a mild climate with cheap energy and forgiving soil, a standard Barndominium will serve you fine. But if you're building somewhere that fights back, the Gulf Coast, the high desert, the upper Midwest, the Pacific Northwest rain belt, the mountain west above 7,000 feet, one of these 6 builds was engineered specifically for your fight. Drop a comment below. Which climate zone are you building in? And which of these 6 designs would you actually choose? I read every comment. Thank you for watching. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe. More videos like this are already in production. And if you're ready for the next one, click the video on screen right now. YouTube thinks you'll like it.